Hello, this is Erin. For the last 2 weeks of the class, your project is to outline a unit for the online course that you would like to create. I thought that it might be helpful to see one of my courses as an example. I don't want you to think that this is by any means the only way to design your course, but it might help you think about the possibilities. My course is in Desire to Learn, so it does look different from Moodle. On the first page, I just keep a running announcement of what's coming up due. And then when the students go into the main content, you'll see that in Desire to Learn, the menus are along the side and instead of along the top. I have a course information folder with all the important things that they need to know at the beginning of the course. I have some math websites that offer general help, and then some things specific to this class projects. But then I have my course divided up by weeks. Some people prefer to divide them up by units. That's up to you. One of the weeks that I want to show you is a pretty typical one. I do break my deadlines up to twice a week. You would not have to do that. But looking at this week, this is pretty typical. I have a discussion board at the beginning that is just Q&A. And then I have a link to their online homework system where they do most of their practice work. And then I have a Desmos activity that I send them to that explores specific cases and then generalizing them to algebraic expressions. And that motivates the question for the reflections board, which is a discussion question board where I ask them a specific follow-up question about the activity that they were working on, and I have them post first before they can see anyone else's, and then they respond to each other and talk about it. And after the deadline, I do come back and post a final thought so that they know if they were on the right track and what the main ideas they should take away from that are. Sometimes I post some extra resources as well when that seems appropriate. So when we're doing dimensional analysis and conversions, I post some extra videos to help them out because that's a topic that they tend to need the extra help for. When I designed this class, I broke the weeks up pretty much based on the pace that I follow in my on-campus class. And so you can see that Unit 2 is a 4-week unit, so I got that laid out, and then I thought about the parts of that unit that are really critical for students to understand later, or that I really think are important. And then I thought about how they might demonstrate understanding of those concepts. And that's where my learning activities came from, many of the Desmos activities that I incorporate, and some of the videos that I added to help out. So that's how I use the backward design process for each unit. If you have any other questions about how I thought about my overall course design, we can discuss more of that on our own discussion board in our Moodle class.